Good evening everyone, my name is Kumar. Today I am going to present my major project for session January 2017 to May 2017 on topic Book E-Rental Store under guidance of my associate professors Mr. Madhut Khetan and Mr. Navneet Kumar Verma. But before starting my presentation, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Kishan Kumar, son of Sri Kailashnath Pandey. Study at School of Engineering and Technology. My branch is Computer Science and Engineering. At Jaipur National University, I was enrolled for session August 2013 to May 2017, and rest of the details are shown below. Outline for the today's presentations are as follows: system overview, need of project, new features introducing systems, system analysis on basis of market, software requirement specifications, system life presentation, limitation and future scope, queries. Now let's start my presentation. First online book rental store started in 2006. It saved 1 million people's money by renting books. With the help of renting, 90% of students in US get benefits every year, and day by day it's increasing worldwide. So as we book lovers says, books let you fight dragons, meet the love of your life, travel to faraway lands and laugh alongside friends. All within their pages, they are an escape that brings you home. Need of system. Why I have chosen Book E-Rental Store as my major project? Because choosing such system, because I love reading books. My choice was limited and don't want anyone else to suffer like me, because I can't buy every book, but I love to read. So it's helped to recycle many books which are only kept in rack of students. Increase the choice to read books, increase knowledge of people and way of thinking. So these are the problems which I have faced in my study periods, due to which I have chosen Book E-Rental Store. So my juniors and friends who are not knowing the Book E-Rental Store benefits can take the benefits and learn something new. I have a plan for presentations and for my systems. Acknowledgement for registration, sales and arrival of new books. Feedback from users. New user registration. Providing free e-magazines to all users, including anonymous users. Notification on user dashboard of their rent and book status. Report generation facility. Easy functionality for both users and managers. Loyalty points. Now I am going to discuss my business plan, that how my system will sustain in such a big giant e-commerce market. There are giants like Amazon and Flipkart. So let's begin my business plan. A business plan on Book E-Rental Store. Execute the summary and opportunity analysis. What are the opportunities we are going to get in market? Numerous is an online book e-rental store. Book e-rental store will serve the use as well as brand new books, and members will have choice to order book of their choice online. BERs will have books for junior college students as well as graduate level and postgraduate level, and novels for the book readers. BERs will also have book sections like competitive examinations, fantasies, science fictions, etc. BERs will serve students using their university data for recommended books and most preferred books in the university. Facility provided by BERs are discussed in previous section only, so I am skipping this and going to the situation analysis. The situation analysis are done on the basis of 2 or 3 reports From that, one of the report is of AICTE Annual Report 2013. On AICTE Annual Report 2013, market size and future projections for my system is as follows. India is expected to have the third largest number of internet users in the world by 2018. Statistics for the publishing industry are also promising. India is world third largest market for English books and entire book market in English, as well as regional languages. It is estimated to generate rupees 10,000 crore annually. The online book market in India is expected to grow 30 to 35% annually in next 2 to 4 years, 2020. I am not discussing the following political, legal and technological aspects because all of these will be covered in my competitive review of SWOT analysis. That what are my strengths, weakness, opportunities and threat which I am going to face in my system in the market. As you can see, strength, save time and human efforts, variety of rent option at one place, easy return policy. Weakness, pickup policy because we are not delivering the books right now. No physical contact with book. Increasing number of online buyers, loyalty points. Increasing number of book readers, changing syllabus of institutes, online book selling giants like Amazon and Flipkart. The competitive analysis on others operators are as shown here. You can go through it. It's helped us to compete with others. What are their strengths and weakness and what we can learn to develop our system. We can get it from here and Porter's 5-force model. So at last, our mission is to serve the customer by providing a reliable, accessible way to rent books at reasonable cost. You can get the data or the file of documents at the given link in the description box. Now let's go to the next section, software requirement specification. Software requirement specification is the most important part for designing any software or system because it provides the life cycle of process, requirement, analysis, architecture, application design, coding, testing and implementation. All the things are covered in this documentation. Let's begin. The book e-rental store is made under the company or group Rumors. I am skipping few parts of the documentation because it's not necessary. You can get it from the document which is there, whose links are described in the description box. You can get it from GitHub also. These are the contents which I'm going to discuss in my SRS. Purpose, scope, definition, reference, technology overview, product descriptions, perspectives. The purpose, as I discussed, the main purpose of this book e-rental store to provide opportunities to book lovers to read more and more books. Definition thereof, definition like admin, senior librarian, junior librarian, etc. And the technology which are used are Java, Oracle 10G, HTML, CSS, HTTPS. I'm not discussing the basic technologies. Overview. Existing system in a market have manual registration, abstraction in online book rental stores. Drawback, no webcam support. Purpose system, registration for members, online maintenance of books and sales. Our plan we have discussed before only. Software interface are like as follow: client on internet, web server, database server, development ID. Hardware it's for us, not for the users, so you can read it from the documentation whose links are provided in description box. The product functionalities are as follow: main data associated with the inventory like title, ISBN, price, maintain a record for the users, allow any authenticate user to become a member, show a listing of available books, all users to log in and log out on the system, rental card, checking out, all staff to stop any user rental order and notify him or her, notify staff when books need to be reordered, allow staff to update the stock of books. One exception is if staff have already specified to stop order for a book. Every book must ever have stop order enabled or disabled. Allow administrator to generate notification for users, etc. The user characteristics are as follows: guest, member, staff, junior librarian, senior librarian, and administrator. The picking time for the books are 8 AM to 8 PM and returning times are fixed, which is going to be in two halves, 8 AM to 9 AM and 4:30 PM to 5:30 PM. This is the architecture diagram for my system. Use case diagram. The use case diagram of my system shows that how users are going to interact with my system and what are the functionalities they are going to see. The use case description can be seen later on. Sequence diagram, that how my system is going to interact one by one with different pages, like login. I'm going to discuss only 2 to 3 sequence diagram. Rest of you can get in the document which are described in description box. Like login. User will log in using his username and password. It goes to the login JSP, validate that the given username and passwords are in a valid format or not. Then it encrypted and goes to the login successful backend and get to verify to the database. After verification, the database provide a verification failed or successful flag to the login JSP. If it's failed, then to the login JSP. If it's successful, then to the user dashboard. The next is of transaction. As user book view for data dashboards, it goes to the book JSP, add to the cart, then goes to the transaction, files updations, final updations are done, then goes to the gateway. Gateways makes the payment and transfer to our bank account, and that goes to the back to the transaction place, and that transactions get updated in our database, from where the receipt is generated and goes to the dashboard JSP in the form of PDF. Now I am skipping the basics formats and going to the next section called Entity Relational Diagram. As we have many users which manages favorite book, review, cache memo, notifications, etc. All the attributes are defined in relational diagram. It will be discussing only events. Attributes are not shown here because it's made clumsy for my file. This is relational diagram where my whole database is discussed here. How my books and data are going to interact with each other. As you can see that it's a modification can be happen as per requirement changes, so before final completion the data may change. So you can get the final completed file from the given link at description box. This is the overview where I am showing the relational schema that how users are going to interact with many tables at their clicks. It's for us to define a user to provide a flexibility to their work so that it's easier for them to have many options. It's in a form of 2NF, second normal form. Assumptions as there is no need for anyone to ever order more than a single copy of a book. Means if you have ordered a single copy of a book, you can't order any other copy. The manager account username and password may be hard-coded. It may be hard-coded, or we can see that in a relational diagram that every user have hard-coding. But in future, in final diagram, you can see that there is a role column where every user gets their role. The manager cannot be a customer. The manager, junior librarian, admin, or senior librarian cannot be a customer. But if they like to be a customer, they can register themselves with a new user ID, password, and their physical verification. Any user can edit their account information. Basic modifications provided. Their security ID and their email ID can only be changed physically. Contacts. They have to mail to senior librarian or by going back to the librarians or bookstores and filling the form. After that only they can change. It's fixed. So this is my SRS report for today's presentation. Now I am going for the now let's start system live presentation, our next section after completion of software requirement specification. As you can see here, this is my home page of book rental store. In this page I provide up simply more user friendly things so that user can find the request as per their needs as they require the work. Like all sections are divided in different books with their price, etc. In front page only, this recommendation of different books by the stars are also listed here, and these are the categories which book e-rental stores are going to provide in the system. About the author, whoever the author which is more popular in book e-rental store in period of time will be shown at this section. Books related products, etc. will be added later on. Now, the next section is about us. In this section, we are going to tell how we are increasing our work day by day. What are the statistical data our bookstores get? Our creative team. I have used different persons' images here right now, but it will be changed when we get online. Partners and addresses, as you can see. Contact us, so anyone can contact. Right now I have not entered the data because it's a dummy data, anyone can see. SOPs, different books according to their popularity, difference, any types, searchings, all can be done at one place only. These are the things which users get anonymously. But let's go to the back panel. As you can see here, in back panel we can see for registering a member, we can go to there and register. We have to wait. This is the registration page of a member. That what are the things required by a member to register a book e-rental store. Today's magazine and login facilities are provided here only. If at any case user forget the password, we are providing OTP process which will be shown afterwards in the section. Let's log in and see the dashboard of user. As we can see here in dashboard, recently added books detail, new user pending details, and book recently rented details and defaulter list are shown at place only. This is the dash panel for the admin or junior librarian, etc. Here user can choose their profile settings or whatever. Alerts, if any alert is generated by book librarian, admin messages, etc. Different reports can be generated from here. Management of books can be done from here, as one of the sections will be shown. I have to add a book, then we can go to this and add book according to our uses. These are the sections which require to add a book. After that, we can see the profile of user. The profile, some things are locked, so you can change, but some basic profile changes are allowed here also. After profile, rules and regulation and disposal of books, and user can search it from here. In next section, we are providing an advanced search panel also here, so that user can search on the basis of advanced search panel. This is the overview of my book rental store system live presentation. As I promised, one of the section of module will be discussed here. So let's start my internet connectivity to show you the forward password, because it's a third-party generation, and in this section only, afterwards you can get the source code for PDF generation also, which I have used for the generation of bills. So I am only going to show only one part of forward password as a third-party integration. But before starting, I have to connect the internet, so please wait. Sorry for interruption. As you can see that I have given a username, email ID for the forward password process, which is registered with my username Kishan. Sorry, mirror comes. So let's see the process. But before starting, I will show you in my database that which username is associated with my user ID. So in back it's getting open. So let's start our process that much of time. I am associating my email ID. After submitting that, the email ID will get checked at the backend of the code, and after checking the backend of the code, it's send an OTP to my mail ID. Here the OTP came. The OTP is 989 for changes of email data of password. Let's write 989, submit. After submitting the verification of OTP, we get that the email ID is locked. We can't change the email ID, but a new password box get opened. So this is the process where we can change the password if we get forwarded. Now let's go and see that the associated email ID is true or false. Now let's check our tables, which is stored in a database, which I have discussed in SRS, that the database has been designed in 2NF form. User data, user data. It's getting open. View data, go. As you can see that the email ID associated with my user ID Kishan is kishan_care@flight.com, and you can see that password is also not encrypted in the form, because right now I am not using encryption module. It's a demo version for showing that my system is working rightfully in the process. So after getting the fully workable system, we will see that the password is in the form of encrypted format, and that encryption key will be in the in between of that only, and will be decrypted in middle layer only, so that in MVC pattern no one's know which is going on in between. So thank you for live session presentation. Now let's go back to our PPT. The limitation for our project right now is delivery option not available. Pickup facility we have given right now. Limited to single city only. Jaipur right now we are only. Staffs are not allowed as a customers. Fixed returning time, as I have said, fixed returning time we have discussed in SRS only. Limited books. Right now we have some problem with funding, so right now we have only limited books. But future scopes, expansion of store into multiple cities, delivery to doors, 24/7 facility for returning and delivering services, incrementing the book collections, easy user interface. These are my future scopes and limitations for today's presentation. If you have any query, just tell me below in comment box by tagging me at kishan.kumar464@gmail.com. Else anyone can contact me at my email ID also, as shown here. So thank you, sayonara, bonjour monsieur. For today my presentation gets over. Thank you everyone.